The way to start answering these is you just got to copy down the very first one. So as I'm looking around, I'm just trying to find the exact same one. Hopefully it's not behind my face. If you see it up here, tell me so I don't look like a loser. All right, so that's the first one I'm starting with right here. Now, the final answer is 2 secant. So I need something to only be one quantity. I don't want to have a plus or minus in there. Therefore, I need to combine those fractions by getting common denominators, which it looks like it's this one right here. It took the right denominator, multiplied it on top and bottom, and took the cosine and multiplied that on top and bottom. Okay? So, if you look over here, there should be a cosine squared on top somewhere. So I'm looking around. Do I see any cosine squareds on top? Down here, but it's got all this extra junk to it. So let's look at it. So how did they multiply the tops of that fraction? Remember to think about what we say. They're foiling that top. So they first did 1 times 1, which is 1. Then they did 1 times sine outside, 1 times sine inside to give you 2 sine, and then sine squared at the end to give you the sine squared right there. It's not a difference of perfect squares because they're both being added. I know that's a weird thing. That's the first time it's come up, so try to hang in there. Okay, so that's the third one down. Now, anytime I see sine squared and cosine squared, what do I think of? I think of 1. So I should have this exact same thing, except a 1 instead of sine squared plus cosine squared. Now, on that numerator, I've got 1 plus 1. So what should that be? Just a 2, which I think I see that over here. 2 plus 2 sine is right there. How many 2's do you see? I see 2 2's. Since each part has a 2, I can factor it out. So a factored 2 looks like it's up here. And why is that a special situation right there above my face? Why was that nice that I factored out the 2? What's going to happen? Now the 1 plus signs can get canceled, and you're left with just 2 divided by cosine. What's the same thing as 2 over cosine? Secant. Yes, Troy. Wonderful. So that should be at the very bottom, the 2 over cosine, and then the secant. Now, sometimes you got to zoom in and out, so the 2 secant should be at the very bottom. And then it says you should have 7 junk cards left over.